Yards, you can yell as loud as you want, they're going to barely hear you. They can hear these shepherd's whistles or your old finger whistles to about a half a mile. So when we're in competition in the national finals, the sheep are put out about 600 yards away. Now if you're wondering how long that is, just imagine 6 football fields end to end. That's a long, long way. These dogs have to run out there and gather on the sheep. Sometimes they're on the other side of the hill, they can't see them. They have to just, on their own, go gather them up and bring them. So, it's a lot of fun, a lot of fun. All right, so out here is Matt with his rescue dog, Knox. We can't figure out why this dog would have been rescued. He's just a sweetheart. Seems pretty nice on sheep. He's just friendly, he gets along with Matt's other dog. I mean, he's just a nice boy, so sometimes you wonder why you find these dogs in the shelter. This dog came from the West Valley shelter. And one of our friends, Kristen, who you'll see later, is one of the people that works there volunteer-wise. She's a project manager with the film industry, but on her spare time, she spends days working at the West Valley shelter, saving a lot of dogs. And what she does is she'll bring them out to our facility if they're a herding breed dog, and we will put them on the sheep, kind of critique them and see how we feel about them, and let prospective people that may be interested in them, let them know what they're getting into, type of thing. Because depending on the breed of border collie that you get, you could be getting a nightmare if you're not prepared to drive an hour or two to some place that does herding and put your dog on sheep once or twice a week. Because when they have the kind of drive that these dogs have, they're not couch potatoes. They don't want to sit at home and just, watch television and watch and drink beer. They just want to work. They want to go out at sunrise and work all day long. That's all they care about. Now, these are all border collies that you're seeing bred on the border hills of England and Scotland about 600 years ago. And about 200 years later, or 400 years ago, the Scotsmen decided, after watching a fox and those kind of creatures, to watch the way they stalk their prey, they decided to breed bird dogs into the border collie to give them that stare. So that as they're staring at their livestock, in this case sheep, they don't care that there's drums going, music playing, somebody speaking on a microphone. They don't care about that. They're so focused on their sheep. So they decided it was a really good thing to do, so they did it, and it worked out great. So as of today, we know of no other breed in the herding world that has that bred into them. So if you're watching a dog work sheep, if all of a sudden you see them crouch down and kind of go real slow like a wolf or a coyote, you'll know that it's a border collie bred with bird dog. Again, this is a rescue dog. Look how nice he's doing. Now let me tell you how this whole thing works so you're not just watching the dog move around sheep. This works because it's a prey-predator drive. The sheep in this case are the prey animals. Their natural instinct is to move 180 degrees away from a predator. The predator in this case is the dog. They're domesticated, but they're still predators. Their natural instinct is to go to livestock. So what they've done in the past, I like to take credit for it, but we have. This is years ago that they started doing this. They started taking the desire of these predators to want to go to the prey animals, but they started teaching them how to do it correctly, how to take that drive that they had to want to go to them and teach them how to gather, how to bring them slowly and do things like that. So the way this thing works is that all animals, predator and prey alike, have what we call a comfort zone, a flight zone. We all have it too. If I said, look over there, there's a bear, everybody would bring out their iPhones and start filming and thinking, this is really rad, there's a bear right there. But what happens when the bear starts walking towards us? Every one of us is going to have a spot in mind that says, if he hits that tree over there, I'm going to start backing away. That's your flight zone, your comfort zone. That's where you feel safe from this thing that could eat you. Okay? It's what enables the antelope to stay alive in the field with the lion. They know that the lion is far enough away, so they don't care. But as the lion starts to get closer to them, they start to think about moving away. And depending on how fast or slow the animal comes at them will determine how fast or slow they move away. So, in herding, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Knox. Look at his face, by the way. Look at the dog's face. You cannot go home after watching these dogs and wonder, like, oh, do they really like doing it? I actually have people that ask me that question. It's like, how do you watch these animals do this and not know that they want to do it? We make them do it correctly, we teach them how to do it, but that desire that they have to go to the sheep is there. Look at my old boy, he's just waiting for me to tell him to do something, you know? In the small group of people, our Saturday night class, we run 4 classes a week at our place. We have about 30 students that come out and take their lessons. And the Saturday night class is permanently filled with people like these guys that have all been with us for 7 to 10 years. They come out every Saturday night, and we open a bottle or 2 of wine, and we sometimes get food, and we just work our dogs, and we teach, and we just have a good time. But these are all parent people. That's the point I'm making. Every one of them are all parent people. Kristen works full-time as a project manager in the film industry. To get on her days off, she's at the West Island Shelter volunteering to help out these rescue dogs. And so what she does here is she gets a herding breed dog that's really nice. She'll bring it out to our place on a Saturday night. It meets the whole group of people, meets our dogs. We get to critique it. We get to put it on sheet, see how it is. And it works out well that way because we can tell the people that are going to be interested in the dog some traits about the dog. So this is one of those dogs. This is a border collie, and we think it's crossed with American Australian cattle dog, just by the way it works and the way it marks. You notice it doesn't really have that pretty crouch-down stare that the other dog has. But again, this is a rescue. Kristen's been fostering it for quite a few months now, hoping to find a good enough home for it. She's really a special little girl. Very, very nice lady. That's along with all the dogs. Okay, you see that move my dog just did there? You notice how he left my side, that one sheep and started going that way? He left the other 2. You notice what my dog did? My dog ran over there. He blocked the path of where I wanted to go and convinced him to go back and join the other 2. That's what he's good for. I got Anyway, so you see that, you remember that bubble thing I was telling you about? That makes sense to the person who needs pizza dog. If you're the comfort dog up there, you want to stay outside of them. And you notice every time this dog stays out wide enough, the 3 sheep stay together. The only reason they pull them around and start to try to split off is because the dog runs a little bit tight. It sees maybe an opportunity to break away like this, see? There's my dog, so you don't stick out there. 4 or 5 generations ago, all imported from Scotland or Ireland. They've been here long enough to where we now breed our own, but they're all what we call book dogs that were bred towards strictly sheep. This is an AKC border collie. This particular border collie's breeder breeds for looks. She doesn't necessarily care about if they ever see sheep or if they even have the instinct. She only cares if they look well and shows and maybe people in Westminster, that type of thing. So what happens is when the breeders keep breeding that, if you breed a non-working dog with no instinct to a non-working bitch with no instinct, you get a group of puppies that come out with no instinct. And if you continue to do that over and over and over, you wind up getting a line of dogs who no longer do what they were bred to do originally, which in this case is more sheep. So fortunately, Dylan came to us with this dog. It was an AKC dog, but she still has some instinct. So she still wants to go to the sheep, but in this case, she's kind of limited as to her ability to do it. So Dylan decided that I really like doing this, so I need to get a better dog. We never suggest to the students that they get rid of their dog, of course. We don't get rid of ours. But we'll say, well, if you can handle a second dog, then you might want to consider it. And so they get the ABCA dog, and you're going to see the difference in the dog that he brings out. This is his ABCA puppy. You're going to notice the difference in the way they work and the intensity of the dog. So you got to remember, when you're up on the hills of Scotland and you're walking a flock of sheep, you need those dogs to be precise, you need to be quick, you need to stay focused. So this is Freya. AKC Freya, bred to look pretty, unfortunately still has some of that instinct, and allowed Dylan to learn some of the basics, so that when he got this new pup, he's all set to rock and roll. Nice job, Dylan. Dylan, by the way, is the legal secretary of the Peace. And Dylan is a dear friend of ours, and he is supposed to be my wife tonight. So you'll meet her in just a few. She's back there. She's standing over there, 2 years old. Another senior dog. So what we do with class, we can't train Sadie anymore. She just passed that point, but she still wants to do it. So we have this thing, we have what we call a play rate. We just let the students come out. If we know that they know enough, and the dog is not going to injure the sheep and chase them into the fences and stuff, then she can come out and let the dog play. Right now, this dog thinks she's working because she's on contact with the sheep. Remember, they don't care what they're doing. When people say, oh, my dog loves to compete. You know, they just love to work sheep. They don't care where it is. It's the person that loves to compete because they need that pat on the back. But the dogs don't care. They'll work in a demo, they'll work in the open field, they'll work in a 30-foot arena, they don't care. They just want to be inside on what we call contact with their sheep. So when they get older, how do you take that away from them? But they've been doing it their whole life. He's 13, he's been working sheep since he's like 10 weeks old. How do I tell them, you can't do this anymore, you're getting too old, and it's nighttime after working, you're sore, you're hurting. That would be the best for him, but I can't do that. Every time I go to the door for 12 years, he's been with me. So how do I tell him now that he's 13, you can't go anymore? He still wants to. In his mind, he's still a young dog. In my mind, I'm still young too. But at some point, you got to realize that you got to take charge and take control and get the animal that you have guardianship over, and you got to do the right thing for it. So we just wanted to tweak and let him kind of do this thing. No more 400-yard gathers, no more working for an hour straight, and that's past. And the same thing with Sadie. She's getting kind of old, as you can see. She's slowing down, but she still wants to play, so we'll just let her come out and play. All right, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Sadie. But again, look at their faces. You can see the desire is there. Okay, now here comes Dylan with his ABCA pup. Now I want you to pay attention to the way this dog works. Look at the intensity, also look at the poke on the dog. So it's totally different than another dog. If he showed up at Westminster with this dog, they would literally be laughing out of the building and ask, why are you here? This is a working pup. We know it's a crowd. More than a road. See that creek right there? That's that bird dog thing. By doing that, it keeps the sheep calm. If the dog is walking behind quietly, it keeps it calm. Remember, herding is controlled movement of livestock. It's not just go get them, run them back to the barn, chase them in the fences, crash and burn and everything else. It's moving quietly. Don't harass them. The livestock don't need to be harassed. They don't deserve to be harassed just because you got a dog and you want to go bite them and things like that. We don't buy that theory here. They're just as important to us as everybody's dog is. And when they come out for an instinct test, we tell them that. So, but anyway, these are, by the way, speaking of our sheep, these are hair sheep. They'll shed out themselves every summer and grow their hair back for the winter. We shear them though because of the shows. Because when they shed out in patches. It's not very pretty. So we have them sheared. They were just sheared a couple of weeks ago, so that's why it's still pretty long. That's why we really have to be careful now. any dogs that we have that are suspect, that maybe grippers, where we know they are going to try to get past us and then bite. Right now we'll put a muzzle on them, a working muzzle, so they can still breathe and drink water and stuff, but they can't open their mouth and fight. Because right now the sheep are more vulnerable. If the dog goes up and bites them in the side or something, they can break the skin pretty easily. But most of the time they have 3 or 4 inches of hair or wool. Dogs can't penetrate it very well. So right now we just got to be a little careful. But anyway, look at the intensity of this dog. Look at it. This is the difference. This is the dog that if Dylan wants to go to the national finals and really, train for it, this is the dog that will get him there. This is the type of sport you fall in love with, because if you love your dog, you know the dog. Look at the dog. Look at his face. Her, I should say. This is Mackenzie, a little girl, just barely 2 years old. I have a little sister at home. Fantastic breeding, very, very strong to stock. Now see what happened there? Oh, it's hard when they start losing their hearing and everything else. Oh, this has been my sidekick for life. I've always felt like I can do anything, any situation that would come up, he can handle. And it hurts. It's frustrating for me inside to acknowledge that. Those days are numbered. So anyway, there you have Smooth Coat Mackenzie with Dylan. Thank you, Mackenzie. Good job. She's forcing her dog to work. He'd much rather be home on the couch watching something. Okay, this is Quinn. Again, look at the intensity. He doesn't care if the band start playing. He doesn't care that I'm talking on a microphone. He doesn't care if there's dogs barking, if there's gunshots going off. They don't care. They only care about doing what he's doing now. I can walk out, call him off. I don't know if any of you see me with him earlier today. He's all over me. He's one of my favorites. I love him. Right now, he wouldn't come to me. He won't come to me for me to give him a cookie. He doesn't care about any of that. He doesn't want that. He just wants to work these sheep. That's all he wants. He doesn't care that you're all out there watching him. That's the beauty of this. 35 years ago when I turned on to it, that's what happened to me. I realized my dog really, really likes doing this. So I drove from Sherman Oaks to Bakersfield 2 to 3 times a week, 148 miles each way. I couldn't get enough of it. I grew up in New York City with a poodle. So when I first saw herding, it was like, wow, that's fascinating stuff. So I was having a good time learning also, but my dog loved it. That's all I knew is he loved doing it. And it's fun to work an animal that you know really likes doing what you're doing with him. This is what this dog was bred to do. This is what this was created 600 years ago. When Farmer Joe said to Farmer Sue, and Farmer Sue said to Farmer Barbara, and so on, they all said, well, I like the way your dog does this. Well, I like the way your dog does this. Well, let's put them together and see if we can get one dog that does that. And let's keep doing that until we get the perfect dog. And 600 years ago, they got it. It's called the Border Collie. They are the Lamborghini of the herding world. When the money is on the line, I don't care where you go, when the money is on the line with sheep, everybody breaks out their Border Collies. See, that's why I always like having my dog with me. See, he'll save me too if I get into trouble. So again, look at the intensity of these dogs. How can you say you don't know if they can't like it or not? That's the beauty of it. And look at, here comes the bagpiper. Does he care? He doesn't care. He's just going to keep working. When we go to the Queen Mary, we do the Scottish Festival down there, they fire the cannons off around. These guys don't care. They just keep working. The only time they care is if they're in their place or if we're not working. Then they don't want the cannon. But if they're actually working sheep, they don't care that the cannon's going off. It's amazing. Look at it. Awesome. Look at it. So what she's doing is, what all these dogs have been doing so far today is showing you how we keep containment. Remember, if we're not in a fenced area, the most important thing our dogs can do is what? Go get them, put them all together, and keep them together. If I have 200 head of sheep out in the range and I got to bring them in at night, it won't do me any good for my dog to go out and bring 190 of them. He has to get all 200 of them. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to have to saddle up or get in the 4x and drive out and find those 10 sheep that are out there somewhere. That's the job of the dog. Go out, find everybody, put them together, and bring them back. And knowing that the whole time you're doing that, they're running it. It's wonderful. All right, thank you, Kristen. Good job, Queen. And it's like bizarre. This is he's her dog. That is for certain. So what you do now is just showing me how to fetch. Remember how the other dog was just circling? Or now she's going to lead her sheep. Remember, the real shepherd, or in this case shepherdess, is walking out in front of the sheep. And behind them, there's a big space. Behind them is 200, 300, 400 head of sheep. Behind them is another big space. And behind them will be a couple of working dogs. One on this side, one on that side, maybe one in the middle. And their job is to just be the rolling fence. And as soon as one of the sheep starts to go that way, this dog over here runs out and goes, get back over there. And then follows them through and they just keep walking that path. But it's essential that the dogs walk the same speed as the handler. If the shepherdess, in this case, is only doing 1 mile an hour, and remember, when you're moving a flock like that, from field to field, you want to do it slowly so that they can graze along the way. Nobody is control with this livestock. So, anytime the dog is taking or bringing sheep to you, it's fetching. Anytime they're taking them away from you, it's cause dragging. So there you have it, folks. That concludes our demo. Thanks a lot for coming out. I hope it didn't bore you. I know that I'm off a lot, and I get too technical at times, so I can't help it. I'm really into this stuff, and we love our dogs, and we just kind of want you to understand how we do these and why we do it. So, thanks for coming out. We hope you enjoy the rest of the festival. We will see you same time next year, maybe. If Sean retires, off to Spain. Moving to Spain, so fingers crossed.